Good day. Today I'm going to cover the final bit of our series, our week-long series that we've had. It's all around creating the final main implementation file of the functions that have been created here. So we've got a transaction, savings account, deposit, withdrawal, and balance inquiry. All those functions have been defined in the previous videos. So today I'm going to cover the final implementation of the main CPP file. My disclaimer is these videos are created for visual learners like myself in order to learn COS2614. Please do not use these videos to cheat, as I do not condone cheating, neither do I condone breaking any laws, rules or regulations. Okay, so yesterday we left off with finishing the balance inquiry, which was this final function over here. Okay, so we've created all of these functions. So now I'm going to my main, and as you can see, it's still the default main that was created when I originally created my project, and you would see it in video 1 of this video series. So let's start looking at how do we implement it. Okay, so it's asking us to include this QCore application. I don't know if I really need it. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, but I know what I do need, and I need to include my transaction header file. So let's go and do that. Include and the transaction header file. Okay, the next thing I also want to do is include my deposit file. So hashtag include deposit header file. Okay, I want to also include my withdrawal file. Hashtag include and my withdrawal header file. I also want to include my balance inquiry. So hashtag include withdrawal, deposit, withdrawal, and my balance inquiry. Okay, and then I also want to include my savings account. Include savings account header file. Okay, and then two other includes that I'm going to add, or actually just going to add the one. I'm going to include Q text stream. Include Q text stream. Okay. I'm going to create a void, and I'm calling it delay. And I'm going to define a current time option. I'm going to say Q time, current time. Okay, and I want to use the milliseconds. Okay, while my current time plus 3 is greater than my Q time, current time, milliseconds. Return. Okay, then I got my int main. I'm going to take all of these arguments out, Okay, and then I'm obviously going to define my Q text stream. So when I have a look, I see this Q core application is defined here. So I'm going to just take that one out, and I'm also going to change my return. Instead of this A exec, I'm just going to say return 0. Okay. So that's why I think that I don't need this. So I'm actually going to just take it out like that. Okay. And then I'm going to create my Q text stream. Define the C out as std out. Okay. And you would obviously initialize a whole lot of transactions here. So I'm going to leave you to define that. Define transactions, or I should say initialize transactions. Initialize transactions here. Okay, and then our first one is going to be C out, and I'm going to say summary of the savings account. C out, and whatever variable I use to define an account. Okay, so let's just do one. I'm just going to initiate one. I'm going to say savings account, and I'm going to initialize it as SA for savings account. Okay, and yeah, I'm just trying to think here. Just put my name. Alright, and my account number, just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many numbers do I need? I'll just leave it like that. Okay, and so I'll say C out CA to string. Okay, and then say end L, end line. Okay, then the next one that we want to go to is add a transaction. So C out total transaction costs. SA dot transactions on date, like that. Total transaction costs. So why am I doing transaction date? It's transaction costs. SA total transaction cost. Okay, total transaction cost. Also want to output the most frequent transaction. line. Q date, and you specify date here, and the year, month, and thing. So I'm going to say 2023. The month I'm going to say is the 6th month, and the date I'm going to say is the 16th. Okay. And then I've got a queue list, transaction, result equals SA, transactions on date, and we pass it the date. Transactions on a given date. We add our what's its name? Our argument, our placeholder. Okay, and then we add our argument, and we say date to string. And then we put in our date, our month, and our year, and our semicolon. And we say if the result dot size is equal to 0, then you simply say output none in line, else for each transaction T in result, you output T dot to string, and then we end line, and we end another line. Okay. And because this else has more lines than what it's needed, we have to put it in brackets like that. Okay, and that is our main function. So don't forget to add transactions here. I'm just gonna put one example here. I'm gonna say sa.add transaction. Okay. We'll say a new deposit, and we're going to put it as 600. Okay, and that'll be the end of that. We can call our delay. Okay, and then we're going to just keep on with different transaction types like this. Okay, so we just call add transaction new. And if you want withdrawal, new deposit, new withdrawal, new balance inquiry. Okay, so let's do a balance inquiry. So add transaction. I think I'm going to do a simple one. So sa.add transaction, just so that we've got one of everything. New withdrawal. Okay. And the withdrawal amount, we'll say 300. and then we just call our delay here. Okay, then we're going to add a new transaction, and we're going to ask for a new balance inquiry, and we have to pass it Q date, and the Q date is going to be 2023 06 12, so that it's the from date. Okay, and then I'm going to add another Q date and a to date. So Q date, and we can actually just use Q date current date. Okay, and that's it. And that will now execute and will give you an output. So you can test it. I'm not going to go ahead and test it, but I think what I do want to do is definitely add all of this code into ChatGPT for now, because I don't know if my other guys have fixed their issues. Ask Cody. So please help explain this code. Control V. As you can see, it's quite a long one. This code snippet represents a program that demonstrates the usage of various classes related to banking transactions and a savings account. Let's analyze the code step by step. These lines include necessary header files for the classes used in the program, such as transaction H, deposit H, withdrawal H, balance inquiry H, and savings account H. Additionally, it includes a Q-text stream header for input and output operations. Okay. The function delay introduces a small delay by looping until a few milliseconds have passed. It is used to simulate a time delay between transactions. Okay. The main function is the entry point of the program. Here's a breakdown of what happens. Q text stream cout, std out. This line sets up the Q text stream object cout to write output to the console. Savings account SA Christopher Wells 123456789. An instance of the savings account class is created with the account holder's name and account number. SA add transaction new deposit 600 delay. A deposit transaction object is created with an initial deposit amount of 600 and added to the SA savings account. Then the delay function is called to introduce a delay before the next transaction. SA add transaction new withdrawal 300 delay. A withdrawal transaction object is created with a withdrawal amount of 300 and added to the SA savings account. Another delay is introduced. SA add transaction new balance inquiry. A balance inquiry transaction object is created with a specified start and end date and added to the SA savings account. The end date is set to the current date using the QDate current date. Various information about the SA savings account and its transactions is printed using the cout and the member functions of savings account. And it obviously got stuck on the QDate part. But that happens. And let's just see if we choose continue generating. There we go. QDate 230616. A QDate object date is created with the date set to June the 16th, 2023. QList transaction result equals SA transactions on date. The transaction on date function of the SA savings account is called with the date parameter to retrieve a list of transactions that occurred on that specific date. The result of the transaction retrieval is printed out using cout, along with the appropriate messages depending on whether there are any transactions or not. Finally, the program exits by returning 0 from the main function. Overall, this code demonstrates the creation and manipulation of transactions within a savings account and showcases various operations that can be performed on the account and its transactions. So I hope that was helpful and informative, and thank you for watching. All the best with COS2614. Thank you and goodbye.